Hello, good afternoon from Spain. Thank you very much for your interest in our intervention and for giving us the opportunity to participate in this event so relevant worldwide. We are very happy to be able to participate in the Global Innovation Field Trip. My name is Mayra Urrea Solano, professor at the University of Alicante. I am fortunate to be accompanied by 3 students of the 4th year of teaching at this university, Rosabel, Jessica, and Paola. And we came to talk to you about the education that future teachers believe is necessary to achieve a more sustainable world. Alicante, the city where we live, is in Spain, on the shores of the Mediterranean Sea. In this privileged environment is located the University of Alicante, a modern, innovative, and committed to sustainability institution of higher education. In this context and concern about the need to achieve a more sustainable world, we believe that education must have a decisive impact on 3 fundamental areas: society, culture, and the environment. With this in mind, Jessica, Rosabel, and Paola, future primary school teachers who are about to finish their degree, are going to explain to you what education in these 3 areas should be like in order to achieve a more sustainable world in the future. Jessica, when you want, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Mara. Now we are presenting our infographic. Okay. So, the first part that we introduce as a crucial element of sustainable education is society. In order to act in favor of the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals, we propose didactic activities that aim to increase the students' awareness of current social problems such as gender inequalities, hunger and poverty in the world, or precarious jobs. Some of the most efficient activities to achieve these goals are reading books related to these issues, breaking with the stereotypes of old tales, or creating posters on making theater performances against the social inequalities that are facing us today. At the same time, it can be very efficient to reflect on the profound messages of short films or thought-provoking images that can create a debate among students, as well as to organize some dynamics to promote the students' empathy, such as the marbles strategy. Additionally, to reduce the obesity and to promote the responsible consumption and production, the school or university canteen should make special offers on healthy products. Moreover, in the classroom context, we can work on how to make healthy recipes with the students and organize a solidarity market of healthy products where families can participate. Finally, the money raised from the market can be donated to associations that seek to end the hunger and poverty in the world. And now my colleague Rosabel is going to address the environment section, the culture section, sorry. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Jessica. The second main idea we present as a fundamental part of a sustainable education is culture. From our role as teachers, it is important to form children in respect for diversity, especially respect for cultural diversity. Culture is an enormous concept. However, we could find 4 main points in which we could base our teaching. The first point we have that you can see in our infography is religion. This is one of the most fundamental points of cultural identity. Furthermore, we have to make sure that more than one religion is treated in our classes. For instance, here in Spain, the most extended religion is Catholic religion. But we don't have to be only focused in this religion. We have to introduce elements of other religions, such as the Muslim religion or the Jewish one. Language is another of the basis of cultural identity. So it is essential to use and promote not only the most used language of the country. for instance here the Spanish language, but also native and international languages such as Catalan, Galician, or Basque language. This use could be achieved by several activities such as songs, role plays, dialogues, vocabulary games, etc. Now, moving into the next step, traditions are totally fundamental to respect cultural diversity. The basis of this respect is in knowing and understanding other traditions of cultural identities. A good example could be talking about and debating about concrete traditions when an important festivity of a concrete culture occur. I'll not only be focused, as I said before, in Catholic religion with Christmas and Easter. We can only be focused on festivities from Jewish religion or Muslim religion, depending on the children we have in our class. And finally, we can't forget the importance of knowing at least a little bit of history. In this case, the clue is using dynamic and motivating methods to teach history. This way, children's learning will be so significant and their awareness of cultural identity and, at the same time, their respect for cultural diversity will be so increased. Now, my mate Paola, we will continue with the environment.
Okay, we will work in a transversal way on environmental education, both in language classes or science classes. The goal is to achieve a higher level of environmental awareness and bear in mind which are the main causes of pollution. A good way is through ecological orchard. This resource allows educating in values and developing competencies. For instance, to support cooperative work, a healthy and balanced diet, as my friend Jessica said, consciousness raising about the environment, encouragement of family involvement. Another idea is through trips to the natural environment. With this, we will be able to take care of environment without polluting it and keeping it clean. In addition, we can do cleaning and waste collection excursions in the natural environment, such as beaches, mountains, natural parks. Okay, a way to introduce students to recycling is by means of simple actions. A good example is changing plastic bottles for canteens. Another wonderful example is introducing plastic bin, paper bin, and waste bin in the classes of the schools. And finally, to introduce sustainable transport in the school, we could make trips to a traffic playground in which we may work the road safety education. And now Marita continues.
Thank you, Paola. I need to share my screen.
Yes, sorry.
Thank you, Rosabel.
Now.
Okay. With this conviction, we also ask second-year teaching students what education should be like to achieve a more sustainable world. As you can see on the screen, and according to their voices, the vast majority of them affirm that it should be an education that focuses above all on the transformation of society, in which equal opportunities are guaranteed and quality education is offered to all students. On the other hand, although less frequently, they also believe that it should be an education that promotes the protection and care of the environment, as well as the values of respect and tolerance. In addition, we wanted to know what they believe are the sustainable development goals that need to be worked on the most to achieve a more sustainable world. They held a clear and a strong opinion because, in their view, the most important sustainable development goal to achieve sustainability in the future was quality education, number 4, reduce inequalities, number 10, gender equality, number 5, and climate action, number 13. We also share their vision as we understand that the achievement of a more sustainable world in the future is based above all on the transformative power of education, and within this, in the teachers who become the dynamizing agent of such change. However, as they affirm, for this to be possible, they must have quality training that allows them to promote responsibility, critical awareness, and solidarity in their students. This is the end of our brief intervention. Thank you very much for your attention, for your interest, and if you have any question, this is the moment. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. This was wonderful. I have just a couple questions. First of all, it was an awesome presentation and you had great information and great data to pass on. My question is, what surprised you most when you sat down and you looked at the information you had collected? Was there a surprise in there anywhere that you didn't expect?
Yes, I will answer the question. Well, I think that the main surprise is that we have been talking about important issues that now are like in the front line of education world. But I think, for instance, in my section, cultural awareness, that are ideas that should be bear in mind years before and even the last century. But now at 2021, we are talking about them and we are promoting them to finally have them in our classes in a realistic way. So for me, this is the main surprise, that we are working hard to achieve this. And I hope that we will be achieving this in some years.
I believe that you will.
Thank you.
Dr. Johnson, I saw you jumped back on. Do you have a question?
Yes, I do. I think it was an awesome presentation. I think a very thoughtful framework that you have most definitely put together. It definitely is very impactful, without a doubt. But my question then is, what might this look like in terms of the ground reality, to bring this into a school? And it really is a radical shift from how we know school is today, right? So what might the reaction be from your constituents, the students, the parents, when you implement it, and what might that look like in terms of the delivery model, and then the acceptance perhaps beyond at the university level?
So I think that nowadays, at least in Spain, we are struggling to introduce these objectives, but little by little we are doing some progressions and trying to, like in these three sections, environment, culture, and society. For example, in one school that I was like doing my practice internship, we were so conscious with the culture. We like didn't celebrate the religious one. We are like celebrating all of them that were in the class, at least at the classroom contest. So I think that little by little we're achieving those goals. And the university, yes, I think that in the university it's more like reflection about this. It's not like introducing activities, but it's more in the context of reflection and how to introduce this in the school context and environment.
And how do you plan to assess your success? What is your success criteria?
Well, I think that as Myra has just said, with surveys, we know that are like the most important issues nowadays and the most important worries for the society. And we think that promoting these values and these actions are so important. So I think that this is the way. And yes, talking about that and having in mind all of these objectives, because I don't think that in the university, like I didn't know about ODS so much before this presentation. I think that we should encourage that and promote that in terms of education and universities.
Excellent. Very proud of you. Keep up
So
the great work.
it seems that Dr. Johnson's questions are much tougher than mine. We should have muted him and just answered all my questions instead. Thank you, Dr. Johnson, for jumping in and helping. I do want to mention to you that we host a global innovation field trip every quarter. The next one is going to be July 10th and 11th, and then we'll have one also in October and January, and we'll just keep going. So at any point that you feel you want to come back and update us and talk to us about the progress, or maybe when you have time to actually implement this and get some results back, we would love for you to come back and share with us again. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you very
Consider
much.
writing a book too to share with the rest of the world, please.
Yeah.
We are on it. We are
Thank
on it.
you.
He's got such tough requests, doesn't he?